Okay, bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, everyone. Well, before we start, first of all, let's pray and give thanks to our God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us the chance to join another weekend English talk. Secondly, may peace and salutation always be given to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has guided us from the Jahiliyyah era to the Islamic era, namely the Islamic religion that we love. Hello, viewers. Annyeong 여러분들, and welcome to this week's IDN Weekend English Talk, a webinar that promises you guys to improve your English skills and give valuable insights from the speaker, who maybe have already lived, studied, and worked abroad. And today, you guys were gonna have a chance to maybe listen to a couple stories from them, and also maybe ask face to face to them as well. Well, how are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing fine. Well, before we start, I want you guys to spam the chat down below with heart emojis to welcome our special guest speaker. Come on, spam the chat with love. Okay, before we start, let me introduce myself first. My name is Princessa Yunanda, and you can simply call me Chessa, and I'm this week's host. And today, this week's webinar is not only a place for you guys to mile, it's a place for you guys to actually listen to the new speaker. And it's a moment to grow and reflect and get inspired by this new speaker that we're going to host today. Well, today's topic is about tips to study abroad. Well, I want to ask you guys, who are you guys on this live today? Who are you guys dreaming to go study abroad? Who else has a dream to study abroad? Well, I do, and I'm really excited to host our special guest speaker. Okay, it's time for you guys to sit back, but not too far though, and listen to our new speaker. And it's time to introduce our speaker, who is not knowledgeable but also passionate about international trade. Now, she was an alumna from Korea University, and mashallah, that's amazing. Okay, now I want you guys to fill this comment section with many emojis as you guys want, because it's time to welcome our speaker. Well, here she is.
Hello.
Ka Annisa.
Afternoon,
Hello,
everyone.
Ka Annisa.
Yeah. I just need to clarify one thing, though. I'm not an alumni yet. I'm still an active student in Korea University.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you right now.
Okay, sorry. I just want to clarify one thing. I'm still a student, not an alumni yet.
Oh, you're still a student. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. A student in Korea University. You're
Yeah.
studying international trade, am I correct?
Yes, correct.
Oh, mashallah, that is amazing, Ka. All right, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm sorry that I have to take my baby with me because she refuses to sleep
Oh,
unless
that's
she's
so
in my arms.
adorable. It's fine. I hope she's also as excited as me.
She's just sleeping.
Because today, oh, she's still sleepy. Okay, it's fine. Well, may I know where you are right now? Are you still out in overseas or?
No, I'm actually back to Surabaya last semester because I needed to give birth. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Are you ready to move on to the next agenda?
Sure.
All right. Okay. I think it's time for you to take on the stage, Scott.
Okay, I actually prepare a presentation, but can you see this?
Yes, we
Thank
could.
you.
Can you guys see the screen?
It's
If you
just
guys
a
can see the
small
screen,
tip for
comment
me
down below.
about how to study abroad. I happen to be lucky enough to study abroad in two countries. First, in Taiwan for master's studies in 2013 to 2015. And then I got another chance to study abroad in Korea. This time is for the doctoral degree. I will not tell you how long I've spent in my doctoral degree because that's not really a good example. But here I'm just going to share about my experience and how you can study abroad and what to prepare for that. Right. So these are my universities. In Taiwan, I studied in Chinese Culture University. It is a beautiful university that's located on top of a mountain in Taipei City. It was very far from the downtown. It's like around 45 minutes. It was a I spent around 2.5 years in Taipei, and I think it was still one of the best times in my life. And then the next one, for doctoral degree, I decided to study in Korea University. Maybe most of you who likes K drama or like K-pop, you are familiar with my university already. Yeah, so I decided to study there, not because it's famous, but mostly because like they offer something that I'm interested in. I will elaborate about it later. But yeah, it's also another great university. Okay, so why did I decide to study abroad? If anyone asks me these questions, I actually answer it jokingly. Oh, I'm a fan of FC. If you were born around the same time with me in the 80s, or have you if you like watching Chinese drama, you may know them. Like they were the stars in Meteor Garden, the Taiwanese drama that were really popular in Asia around early 2000. Yeah, so they are from Taiwan, and everyone around me knew that I like them back then. And then when they asked me like why Taiwan, I'm like, oh, I can see FC over there. But actually, I've never seen FC in Taiwan. Never, not at all. But like for Korea, the joke is like, oh, it's because of Shinhwa. Maybe you guys are not familiar with them either. They are the first generation K-pop boy band. They debuted in Entertainment in 1898. So it almost 30 years ago. They debuted almost 30 years ago. And when I started my study in Korea, they happened to release a new album. So that's why when people ask me like why Korea, like why now, I answered jokingly, oh, Shinhwa is having a comeback. So I need to be in Korea to attend a comeback event. But it was just a joke. Not really, but like half of it are a joke. My reasoning is I want I I want to see the world. As long as I can remember, I've always wanted to explore the world because I think that there are many things that I can see outside my city, outside my hometown, and outside Indonesia. And I feel like there are a lot of things that I can learn from by going abroad. Like other Indonesians, to travel abroad, it's not easy. It can be really expensive. It's not affordable with our salary and many other reasons. And also, like for me, traveling, it's only for a short time. But if you study in a country, then you will have sufficient time to learn about their language, to learn about their culture, to meet people, maybe to build your own network. And you by doing this, I feel like you can learn more deeply. You can understand them more. Like if you go to when I was in Taiwan, I always think that, oh, this country is actually really small, but they have such a good healthcare system. They have great transportation system. The people here are very kind. And then honestly, I've met some of the best people I've met in my life in Taiwan. And I'm still in contact with them until now. Likewise, like in Korea, there are a lot of opportunities for foreigners because like we know that Korea has low birth rate now and for the last decades probably, so they are trying to attract more and more international students to come to Korea and start working in Korea. So that's why there are a lot of opportunities for that. And my last reason is because it's mostly paid for. So for these two opportunities of studying abroad, I got a scholarship. Well, it wasn't like famous scholarship like LPDP or GKS, like from Korea, Global Korea Scholarship from the government. It wasn't that kind of scholarship. I got the scholarship from the university itself. So I will I'll talk about this more. I got scholarship from the university, and for Taiwan, I got the stipend, living allowance for every month. So it covers most of my living cost while I was studying. Okay, so what do you need to prepare? Because honestly, many people want to study abroad. Everyone can dream of studying abroad, but it's really not easy. It's not easy as like, oh, let's kabur aja dulu, or you can just go, you can just leave without preparing anything. You can actually prepare that for years, and the documents that you need to uh, prepare, it's also pretty complicated. So this is the first thing that I'm going to talk about. This is not to discourage you, but that's just to show you what is the reality, so you can be better prepared for your to reach your dream. So usually what any kind of scholarship or whatever university you are aiming for, if you want to study abroad, they usually ask for your diploma, your latest diploma. If you go there for undergraduate studies, they will ask for your high school diploma. If you're going there for masters, they will ask for your undergraduate. And for like doctoral student, they asked me for my undergraduate and masters diploma and transcript. This is pretty easy actually, if you because if you graduated from any universities, they would give you that, right? And nowadays, honestly, most universities in Indonesia have already translated the degree and transcript in English anyway, so you do not have to translate them to English. But when I applied for my first scholarship in Taiwan, I had to translate it. I had to get it translated. I mean, I couldn't translate myself, so I needed to translate it to get it translated in a institution, so I can get this stamp that this is from a certified translator, something like that. And I had to pay for that. And some countries, including Korea and Taiwan in this case, they will ask your documents to be apostilled by a notary. This is another thing. So every time you want to apply for something, apply for scholarship or apply for university, you need to read it thoroughly. What do they need? What do you need to do? Because if you miss one single step, you will fail. Like, for example, my husband just left for his degree to Taiwan. He's studying abroad, and they asked him to notarize and apostille the degree, but he missed one thing. He already notarized it, but he missed the notarization, like, or the authorization from Taiwan representative in his country. He's not Indonesian, so he needed to go back to the United States to get it apostilled. Now, can you imagine if you have to do that, like go to another country to get a stamp for your degree or transcript? That's how complicated documents can be. So you really need to read it very carefully when you want to apply for anything. And for like other documents, usually you need to prepare bank statement. This is especially for visa requirement, language certificate, birth certificate, family registry, motivation letter, and CVs. For birth certificate and family registry, usually they ask for it to make sure that you are not Chinese descendant, for example. Or in case of Korea, to make sure that are not Korean descendants. Or if they have scholarship for a Korean adoptee, they will want to know whether or not you are really an adoptee. You have to prove it through this kind of certificates. So if you want to study abroad, my advice is to prepare all of this. Do not lose them. Do not lose your documents because they may ask for it. If you ask, what about my certificate, like seminar or award winning, some university may ask for it, but most of it, no, they will not ask for it. But if you want to apply for GKS, for example, and you want to make sure that, oh, you are quite different, like you are special or something like that, you may enclose it in your documents, but it's not required at all. And then moving on to the next one is about, because people always ask me like, which one that you should look for, country first or university first? Because I know that some people, I want to go to Korea, I want to study to Korea. I heard this so many times. I want to study in Korea. I want to go there. That's fine. Or you want this university. Oh, I only want to go studying in Oxford. I only want to go studying in Harvard University, for example, and that's totally fine. But what you need to uh, keep in mind is that even if you want to achieve this certain country or this certain university, do not let yourself to lose sight on other kinds of opportunity. Like for example, for me, I didn't want to go to Taiwan. I wanted to go to any of the EU country because I wanted to write a thesis on European Union. But because I was so focused on getting a scholarship in the EU, I missed another chance. And then Taiwan was just presented to me by a friend who already went there and said, "Why don't you study here? They have scholarship and they paid for your living allowance." So I decided, after looking into the curriculum and classes that they offer, I decided to go for it. I applied for the Taiwan University, like my university in Taiwan. So the tip from me is, try going to an education fair. Usually Taiwan or UK or Australia, there are many countries that will open an education fair in your city. Usually it's in a big city though, like Jakarta or Surabaya. So if you want to get a gist of what's going on, do they offer this program that I like? Do they offer scholarship? What kind of facility that I can get from the university? Go to the education fair. I know some people like think, oh, they were just, uh, it wasting your time. They don't actually take your application or whatever. But for me, education fair, something like that, they will at least give you an overview of what it feels like to study in a certain country or in a certain university. You can even ask the staff like, are there many Indonesians over there? Something like that, because they can tell you, oh yeah, there are many Indonesians over there. Or you can also ask them, what about halal food? And they will tell you, oh, we have a halal restaurant inside the university, for example. You don't have to worry about that. That's the place where you can actually ask questions if you are curious, and they don't charge you for it. If you go to for example, like any education um, agents or services, they will charge you to ask questions. But in education fair, everything is free, so you can ask as many as questions as you like. And then the next one is about language, English or other language. If I'm if I can be blunt here, English is a must. It's non-negotiable. So even if you go to Korea, even if you go to Taiwan, whose language is not English, whose official language is not English, but my classes are all in English. They have international programs for international students that offers classes in English. So even if you cannot speak Chinese, you cannot speak Korean, you can still study there. But if you don't understand English, then how could you go? Or like if you want to study in the UK or Australia or the United States, then of course that's the main language. But if you know English, you can apply to more countries too. It doesn't have to be an English speaking country. So it's really a must right nowadays. It's non-negotiable. You have to at least attain 500. For like 550 would be safe to get you anywhere you want. Or IELTS 7. It's the safest bet. For IELTS 7, for TOEFL 550, it can get you anywhere. Maybe not Cambridge for 7, but like many other university will offers you that much. And if you want to apply to non-English speaking countries like Taiwan or Korea, the English requirement is actually lower. If you have like 6 IELTS 6, you can still apply. Even in Korean university, you can still apply. 6.5, if I'm not mistaken. But like if lower than that, um they will not accept it. But there will be more opportunities if you at least reach that point, IELTS 7 or TOEFL 550. What about other foreign language? That would be a plus point. For example, if you apply for GKS, you want to go to Korea, and you already fluent in Korea, you have to prove it though from topic certificate. Usually they will ask for level 4, 5, or 6. If you get this kind of level already, you do not have to take one year of English classes, because for GKS you are required to do that, and you have to attain at least topic level 4 to be able to study in Korea. But like if you already fluent and you can prove it through this through topic an official certificate, then it will increase your chance to get accepted to the university. Not only through GKS, but there are many other scholarship opportunities in Korea, including professor scholarship. You apply to the professors right away, or you apply straight to the universities. They also have this kind of opportunities that you can try taking. And the next one, it's about finance. And honestly, when I applied for my scholarships, I already worked full time because I already graduated from undergrad, uh, but it was not cheap at all. It was pretty expensive. I obviously, that IELTS test or TOEFL test, they cost so much, right? And if you think if like scholarship mean everything is free, no, everything is not free. It's only free once you are in the country and they pay for your tuition, they give you the living allowance, but before that, it's not free. So you have the transit documents, you have to pay. You have to apostille or notarize your document, you have to pay. Language test, you have to pay. And maybe if you fail your language test, you have to pay again. What about and also if you need to send, I know for Erasmus Mundus in the European Union, you actually need to send your documents to the EU, and you have to pay it yourself. Also, most scholarship will not pay for your flight to the country. Only a few scholarship will provide this. So my advice to this is save your money, save as much as you can, and try to get something saved for, even if there are a few scholarship that pay for everything, but you still need some money to buy, to settle in when you first got there. For example, when I first got to Taiwan, I lived in a dorm. And then I just find out when I arrived that I need to buy a mattress. I didn't know that. And I was, what do you mean I have to buy a mattress? It's a dormitory. So I assumed at that time that they already have a mattress for me, but they didn't. So I had to buy it. I have to buy a mattress. And then I have to buy like my own toiletries. I have to buy several things that I didn't even think about it before I arrived. So when I departed to Korea, I already prepared some stuff that I may need in from Indonesia because I think that it would be cheaper. But you don't need to prepare everything, like bring everything from Indonesia too. There are some cheap stores around the university. If you go to Taiwan or Korea, there are stores like Daiso that can where you can buy the household stuff very cheaply, so you don't have to worry. You just have to prepare for it. And you can also talk to people around there whether or not they sell something, because every year there will be students graduating from that university, right? And they usually left their stuff behind for free. You just need to know where to get that. In Korea, if you live in a dormitory, they will just throw it away at the trash place. So we have in Korea, in Korea, if you want to throw away stuff, there is a specific room where you can just drop things over there, drop your trash over there, including bed covers, even K-pop CDs. You can find them there. So uh, you just need to know where to get those kind of stuff. And also the next one is mental health. It wasn't really a big topic back then when I started studying, but I know along the way that international students are really prone to depression. This is based on the research, like research paper, like academic paper, that you are really like we are really prone to depression because we will be in a foreign country alone, even if we have friends, even if we have roommates, but you will have no family over there. If you get sick, you are alone. If you have any problem, you would be alone. That's why it's really important to find out your about like the international office in your university. Are they helpful? Can they help if there's something happening to you? For example, if your scholarship money does not come out on time, can they help? Will they do something? If you cannot get a room in the dormitory, will they help? So you can find, you have to find this kind of like information. And also don't forget Indonesian community abroad. They're also quite helpful. So my tip for this is, before you leave for the studying abroad, try to find the community. I don't know why, but like I find these communities are on Facebook. I know that people always say, "Oh, Facebook is for old people. I will just see it on TikTok or like Instagram. I will just ask this influencer about like this information." But these influencers can be really misleading. I just need to warn you, if you want to ask them questions, they mostly just say some good things. They will not say any bad things. But these communities in like on Facebook, they can be really direct with you, like, no, we don't have that, no, we cannot do that, or something like that. They will give you a straightforward advice and actual like real advice. Like, for example, you ask, do you know if you know anyone who sell a mattress, because I need a mattress for my dormitory. There will be people who reply like, oh yeah, I have one, you can pick it up here, or yeah, I sell one. So this kind of like Indonesian community on Facebook, or like maybe if you can find WhatsApp link or something like that, they can be really useful. They usually sell very cheap stuff too. They will give you information about, for example, halal food. If you need, I need to find a room because my dormitory is full. They will let you know. They will tell you. They will tell you where to find a room. Some of them even rent a room. Can rent you a room. So these kind of communities are really helpful for your mental health. I feel it's not just when you kind of struggling. Even when you are not struggling, this kind of community can help you to, I don't know, to find where you belong. Like sense of belonging is really important, especially if you are abroad and you are alone. You don't have anyone, like I said. If you find like travel clubs or book club, then you can have fun outside the university. Maybe you can find a new network that's not related to your study. That's also um cool, I think. I will tell you about that later. But my last preparation is, please do your own research. Nowadays I notice that on social media, most of the times there will be people asking question. I want to study in Korea, give me information. Like, what kind of information do you need? I don't know you, and how can I give you a good information? Because, for example, if you want to study in Korea but you are undergraduate students, I will not be able to give you any information about that, because I studied doctoral degree. It's different. The documents might be the same, the visa requirement might be the same, but I cannot give you any insights, like how to apply, like how, what kind of university you can choose. What about the professor? I don't know. And there's the thing about your major too. For example, oh yeah, me too, I want to go to Korea for doctoral degree. Can you give me information? Then I will have to ask, like, what major? Because my major is science, social science. It's completely different from the STEM major, for example. Like the scholarship that I mentioned, professor scholarships, social science don't have this. Only STEM majors have this. So if you ask me about professor scholarship, I don't know. I don't know much about it. I only know that some of my friends or people that I met in Korea, they got this scholarship. That's it. But you have to go to the right person to ask. I may be able to link you to someone, but I cannot answer your question. So make sure that you do your own research first, so you know what you want. This is important. What do you want? What do you want to find? Then you can go around asking questions. This is also for like yourselves to be better prepared before you go uh, to the actual country. Oh, this is what I said about activities and learning experience. This is about community. Um, International students can be really competitive, especially in Korea. For example, before you have a presentation in the classroom, they will have a rehearsal. They will write down the script line by line about what to say in the presentation, and they will have rehearsal with the group. This is something that I have never experienced before. Not in Indonesia and not in Taiwan. So I was very surprised at the level of competitiveness in Korea is very high. So this can be fine if you like it, but personally I don't like it. But there are things like competitiveness that may stress you out. So you can find another group of students that may have the same type of studying with you. And also they usually offer student club. This wasn't available in Taiwan. They don't have student club, but Korea University has student club. At least in my faculty, Graduate School of International Studies, we have, the clubs is not for fun or whatever, but it's actually an academic clubs. So we have East Asian club, we have European club, and we have environmental issue club. So every week someone will present an issue. It can be fun. The issue can be about music, like you can present about K-pop if you like, or K-drama. but we after that we need to discuss it. There are students clubs like this in Korea university, so you can meet more people, you can make friends over here, and you can get free food. That's what important. That's what one of my classmates, he was from Philippines, and then he joined every clubs. I asked him like, why did you do that? And he said every the club meeting is held in on a different day. For example, East Asian is on Monday, European club is on Tuesday, and then the environmental club is on Thursday. And he attend every single one of them. And he said, at least on those days, I don't have to buy food. That's what he said. He joined every club so that he can get free dinner. This is also one of the life hacks from him. He said it will be it's really helpful for international students who do not have much money to, you know, to study and to live in Seoul, because Seoul is very expensive. But yeah, I also found many friends in these clubs. And the other one is the outside university experience in Korea. This is Wow Korea. The picture here is Wow Korea. Wow Korea is a traveling activities for foreigners in Korea. So every year they will open application for any foreigners who live in Korea. If you got accepted for a year, you can travel for free with them. You only need to upload something on your social media. So for like activities like this, what's important is like whether or not you like traveling or you have followers on social media. It can be TikTok or Instagram. There are a lot of opportunities like this in Korea. If you like to travel and you don't have money to actually travel, try to apply for this kind of opportunity. Again, I also met so many friends from these kind of activities. During my stays in Korea, I think I joined, there was a time when every week I went somewhere to do this kind of activity. And I met so many people. And then I went to, I think for Korea, I went to every province except Jeju, and most of them are for free. Or something, if you like to read, there are book clubs too. You can just search again on Facebook. I don't know why, but these clubs never advertise anywhere else but Facebook. I somehow um, found this book clubs from Facebook too, and then decided to join because they say that they are looking for members. We are reading English book. This is important because some book clubs may only read Korean or may only read Chinese books. We are reading English books, so if you want to join, you can join. There are a lot of clubs like that too. So this is the activities and learning experiences that you can get when you are in a foreign country. It doesn't have to be all academic, it doesn't have to be all university. So you can have fun too, and please do have fun because you only have a few years in that country, right? And then the next one, this is, I don't know if you can see this, but this was the comparison table that I made when I started studying in Korea, because some people ask me what is the difference between Taiwan and Korea, which one is better, or like how people phrase it this day, which one is worth it? Because for me, both worth it, but it depends on like what kind of worthiness that you are looking for. For me, Taiwan was still better. For me, it was a better experience overall. People are kinder, food are nicer, living cost was cheaper. The only downside was for me was the classes. It's not the lecturers, but more like the material that they taught me was not, for me, was not challenging enough. Korea was better on that side. So it was like, it was a very short comparison that I made. It was when I first started studying in Korea. So there are a lot of things like foods, what about scholarships, study load, housing, halal, and then many Indonesians or not. These are like commonly asked questions. If you want to screenshot it or whatever, you can just do it, and you can ask me to elaborate more about it later. And this is also another frequently asked question. What kind of challenges? Because let's face it, if we are Muslims, we usually eat halal, correct? So one of the first question that I always got was, is it hard to find halal food? The answer could be yes or no. In Taiwan, it was pretty easy because there are lots of Indonesians there. There are around 300,000 people. So there are many Indonesian restaurants, there are many Indonesian shops, so you can find halal food very easily. But Korea, not so much. You can find halal food, but most of them are Indian food. Can you eat curry every day? Most people cannot and don't want to. So it can be a little bit hard to find halal food in Korea, but it's there. Some of it doesn't happen in every city, okay, but like in big cities like Seoul, for example, or Daejeon, you can order the meat online. If you cook by yourself, you can just order the meat online. You don't have to go outside to find them, because outside in the supermarket they do not have halal meat, sorry. Another question would be like, is it true that Koreans are racist? This is like very common question, I guess, not only for like people who are studying there, but also like people who wants to travel. I can just say like, yeah, not really. It can it. I feel like it really depends on your luck. because you can meet the worst people ever if you're unlucky, but you can also meet kindest people in Korea. It really depends. It's the same with Indonesia, for example. There are bad people, there are like good people, but if you wear hijab, of course that people will be staring at you because you are different. I lived in Korea when I haven't worn hijab. They ignored me. No one was looking at me. And then I started wearing hijab. And then I got questions. I started to get questions. I started to get stares. And several times when I rode bus or like subway, when I sit down, people will move. People beside me will move. They don't want to sit beside me. This is something that I encountered, but maybe they are racist, but yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. It's how you cope with it. Will you ignore it? Will you internalize it, or will you fight? And know when to fight too. Do not fight Korean ajusi, for example, because they can be really um, harsh, if I can say that. Yeah. So most of the time, I just laughed, and after some time, I don't even notice that people are staring at me anymore, because I feel like, yeah, they will stare because no one is wearing hijab around here. I lived after a while. After I got married, I lived in Daejeon, not in Seoul anymore, and there are not too many foreigners in Daejeon compared to Seoul. So I get stares a lot, a lot of stares from Korean. And the next one was about like, are the classes hard? How was it academically? For me, I like studying, so it's not hard. It's not hard, but it was challenging. In Taiwan, because I was a master's student, there are not too many papers or essay that I have to write. Mostly only presentation, but if you take doctoral degree, it might be different. There will be papers that you have to write down almost every classes. So it depends on like, first, how much do you like study, and then how do you usually cope with many assignments from your school currently? If you don't like too many assignments, if you don't like too many homeworks, you maybe you can look for universities that do not give you many assignments or homework. I'm just saying maybe there are universities like that. I'm not sure. And the last one was, is the scholarship enough? No, I still have to work part time. It was doable. It can covers my basic necessities like food, but to rent a room, no, it's not enough. So I needed to work part time a lot when I was in Taiwan and in Korea, so I can cover the rent. I think that's all I can share. It's been almost 1 hour. For the next one, maybe we can open the Q&A session.
All right. Thank you so much, Kanisa, for delivering the wonderful journey. I really loved what you shared to us, and I think it's really inspirable. I really love it so much. And are you ready for the next agenda, guys? It's time for the Q&A session. Okay, for this next Q&A session, there's a couple of people on the line. All right. So first, we have Hannah Anladipa, and today she's going to ask a question. Well, hello,
Okay.
Hannah.
Hi, Tessa.
How are you today?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm amazing. So, are you ready to ask the wonderful speaker today?
Yes.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
Please ask away. I'll try to answer it the best I can. It's okay, baby.
Hello, Kanisa. Can you hear Deepa's voice
No,
before? Hannah's voice? Oh, no. Okay. Okay.
no, I can't.
Can you repeat the question? Just repeat.
Okay, I will repeat the question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first question is, how did you manage your finance while doing studying abroad? And for the second question is, in your opinion, uh, what qualities are most important for a student to succeed overseas?
Okay. The first one, I usually set a limit on how much I can spend in one day. For example, in Taiwan, I set a limit of like 100 Taiwan dollar per day. So I cannot exceed this amount if I want my scholarship to be enough. In Korea, it's also the same. I set myself like, for example, I forgot. I think Korea was like 10,000 won. No, 15,000 won per day, if I'm not mistaken. Because Korea is more expensive than Taiwan, so that was an acceptable amount. So I just need to find places to that provide cheap lunch, like school cafeteria usually have cheap lunch, and how to make it last, something like that. And what kind of quality? I think students who are adaptable. Adaptability is really important because you will live in a new environment. You don't know anyone. So if you cannot adapt yourself fast, or like not quickly enough at least, you will feel very stressed out. And stress can really affect your academic performance. So I feel like if um, being adaptable is very good quality of a student or a person actually anywhere. Anything else?
All right. Um, uh, so, Hannah, does that answer your question?
Okay, thank you, Kanisa. That's so clear for me. That's all for me. Thank you, Kak.
Okay. For the next questionnaire, Kanisa, we have Konita on the line. So she's going to ask a question. So, Konita? Hello, Konita.
She freezes.
Uh, Oh, she's freezing. Can you hear her voice, Kanisa?
Uh, I cannot.
Oh, you cannot. Okay. All right. Maybe for the next questionnaire is from Asha. Maybe for the next questionnaire is from Asha. Okay, for the next questionnaire is from Asha. Well, hello, Asha.
Hello, Kak Jess.
So, are you ready to give another question to Anisa?
Yes, I'm ready. Okay, so Kanisa, what is the difference in learning style at Korean universities in Taiwan compared to Indonesia that made it most difficult for you to adapt with?
I think because it's still an it's still Asian countries, so mostly are the same. Like the teachers, like the professors, will teach you like the way our professors here in Indonesia is the same. They mostly have a lecture in front of the class, but in Taiwan or in Korea, they provide more room for discussion. Maybe the only difference was dress code. In Indonesia, you have to, if you go to university, most people only have most university will have dress codes. For example, you cannot wear t-shirts or you cannot wear sandals, you cannot wear short pants, something like that. But in Korea and Taiwan, there was no such thing. You can wear shorts, you can wear sandals, but I mean, as long as it's decent, no one will say anything. Like, of course you cannot wear your swimsuit to the class, but most people will arrive at the university dressing in t-shirt, like very casual. That's the only different. If like teaching style, not too much of a different, and the way professor act also not too much of a different. But I feel like um, most professors in Korea or in Taiwan, they do not expect you to, I don't know how to say it, but like some professors in Indonesia always say like, you have to respect me, you have to text me this way, something like that. They do not really enforce this kind of standards. Just as long as you are polite with them and only contact them within working hours, for example, they will be fine with that. Maybe that's the only difference. I don't really struggling in terms of classes, I think, or like interaction with professors, like but currently I'm still talking to, like, meeting my professor who was my thesis advisor in Taiwan. So he still come to teach to Surabaya like every year. And if I happen to be in Surabaya, I usually went to see him. He was one of the most humble professors that I know. He was the president of the university when I first got in that university in Taiwan, but he went everywhere with public transportation. He got a car and a chauffeur with him from provided by the university, but he prefers to just take bus and subway. He was really humble, and I think something like this, honestly, I don't really see that in many professors in Indonesia. That's all. Is that did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much, Kanisa.
All right, for the next questionnaire and the last one for this week's weekend English talk is from Conita on the
Okay.
line. All right, Conita,
Okay, hello, Vanessa.
Hello.
Conita, are you ready to ask a question? Go ahead.
Okay, so the question is studying abroad sounds exciting, but it also means facing culture shock and identity shift. So, how do you balance adapting to a new culture without losing your
Sorry, it was a bit choppy. Can you repeat the question? I couldn't hear the question.
Oh,
Yes. Okay, so the question is studying abroad sounds exciting, but it also means facing culture shock and identity shift. So, how do you balance adapting to a new culture without losing your own identity?
Mm. Is it about identity shift or cultural shock? Uh, for for me, there are lots of culture shock, not really shock, but more like differences. But maybe I'm the type of person that kind of I don't really care about that kind of thing, so I don't really feel shocked about the difference that I saw in Korea or in Taiwan. I just say that that's like they are different, but I don't really internalize it or something like that. I know that some people, especially because like we are Muslims in Korea, there are a lot of people drinking alcohol. Do you know soju, right? Soju price is cheaper than water in Korea. So people drink, yeah, people drink a lot of alcohol. Of course, of course, I know like there are some Muslims. Oh my God, so haram, and I cannot live here or something like that. But I just think that just don't drink it. I mean, we cannot really talk to Koreans like, why are you drinking alcohol? It's haram. But this is their national sport. This is part of their culture. Shh. Even when I have my student orientation from my university, sorry. The, sayang.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay. Then
okay, thank you, Kak
Not,
Lisa,
not yet,
for
not yet.
answering my question.
Wait. Sorry, I haven't finished. It's okay. So um yeah, when I first got into the
Just
student
continue.
orientation in
Answer.
Korea, yeah, they took me to a chicken and beer restaurant, and they ordered like 5 liters of beer for everyone. This is something that we've never seen in Indonesia, right? But just um for me, just do not touch it. That's all. Then just always remember that like you are Indonesians and Muslims, and just remember that the value that you have in life before, and do not get carried away by the society over there just because you want to fit in. Because I know some people are like, oh, but if I don't drink, they will think that I'm not cool. If I cannot, if they hang out at clubs, for example, if they go clubbing and I don't want to go with them, then they will not be my friends, for example. I know it's kind of like very hard because you need friends, but you need to ask yourself like, do you need this kind of friend really? Because I feel like there are people who are might be more like-minded with you than this kind of person. You just need to find your people, You know what I mean? You don't have to fit in a way that sacrifice your core values. That's what I'm saying. I hope it answers your question.
Betul.
Okay, thank you, Kak, for answer my question.
Yeah. All right. I think that recaps for all of the questions, Kanisa. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people actually curious, Ka. Can
Mm-hmm.
you say a couple of words in Taiwanese or not Korean?
Chinese.
Mhm.
I'm not really confident with Chinese because it's been a while since I talk in Chinese.
Oh, oh, okay.
Korean, I don't know what
For
to say.
all right. Um, it's just fine. Just like maybe ni hao is fine.
Oh, ni hao. Ni
Ni
hao.
hao. Uh,
我叫 Anisa.
oh, what does that mean?
Hi, my name is Anisa.
Oh, but what about in Korean?
안녕하세요. 저는 아니사라고 합니다.
That's amazing, Ka. What do you mean you're not really confident? That's really cool. You actually
No,
sound like
it
a native.
wasn't a good. No, thank you. It wasn't.
네, 감사합니다, Kanisa. I really appreciate that, and thank you for being today's speaker. And
Mhm.
I have got a lot of insights from you, and also I am inspired, and I hope the viewers are inspired from you as well.
I hope I can give you good insights if you want to study abroad.
I love the insights. Thank you so much, Kanisa. And
You're
I think
welcome.
we've reached the end of our session. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for everyone watching here. And I really hope this is the beginning of something new. And yeah, thank you so much, Kanisa, again for being the speaker for today. And hopefully you got your life would get easier every day. And I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. See you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank you
inviting
all
me.
for watching this week's Weekend English Talk, and I hope you guys can watch again in the next week. Well, this is Kalila Princessa Yunanda, and sorry if I have many mistakes, and I'm out. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Bye bye,
wabarakatuh.
Kanisa. Bye bye, everyone.